Did we have Zug Zug on our team this game?
Huh?
We did have Zug Zug, yeah.
All right. Let's go. All right. What do you want to focus this one on? What do you have any concerns about this game?
No.
Okay. So what do you want to review this game for? Why'd you want to review this one?
Anything. What do you think I need need most?
Okay, so just like seeing if we can diagnose any problems that you might be having,
Yeah,
and seeing where we go from there.
pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. Let's start from you. Okay, before we start this fight, I just want to tell me what would be in your head at this moment in time. What would be going through your noggin at the moment?
Like how can we get to the point?
Okay. All right. So what's going on? Tell me what you're thinking.
I'm thinking, how can I get my team to the objective without like getting our whole team killed?
Okay. So then how can you do that? How can you do that?
I could try to go through the left side. I could try to
All right.
rotate high ground.
Mhm.
Go middle left or middle right.
Yeah, and what are those things going to do?
Um, give us some cover to walk through the point, and then we can.
Okay, so you just want to rotate our entire team straight through point.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's a wise decision given our team composition?
Not really, because we have double sniper.
Okay. All right. So, first things first, you gotta make sure you notice your team composition, and especially the enemy team composition as well. So, given our team composition, what do you think you want to do instead?
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
What was the question?
Given our team composition being what it is, what do you think you want to do instead?
Like poke them out ish. Like try to slowly let my team take the angles on the right side so we can have good line of sights.
All right, that's great, but you're not really in that equation then if that's the case, because you're not really doing any poking, so what can you do?
Well, I can hold them up close to like get them to look at me, and then I'll look at our team on the high ground.
All right. All right, so get them to look at you so that they're not focusing on pressuring your teammates. All right, okay. So if that is your goal, how do you think you're going to achieve that short term? What do you think you're going to do?
So I could get the diva out of the choke, and then hold that corner on the left, next to the building, and then wait for my team to rotate. And then as we're going up, as they take the high ground, I could push in and start taking space, swinging, all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. All right, I love to hear that. That's nice. That's a good, solid idea. I just want you to think of that a little bit faster, okay? So we're just going to be focusing on trying to get these game plans and these ideas through our heads a little bit faster and making every adjustment a little bit faster, okay? Okay. So we speed through. You're pushing out Diva. Diva gets pushed out. Where's your team? Always got to check to make sure you know where your team is, because this is concerning. But just making sure. Okay. All right. Just one little thing about this pin. What were you thinking when it came to this pin? The Diva slept and you're just trying to chunk her HP down. Is that it?
Yeah, I figured I could pin her into the wall that's like directly behind her.
Okay.
But she got woke.
All right. My problem though is that she kind of canceled the pin really early. You could have just.
Well, I canceled it because she got woken up.
Yeah. But here's the thing: when it comes to pin, even you can have a plan to do something offensively with pin, but even if you don't, all the time, every single time you use pin, you have to be thinking, almost every time, obviously, you know, if there's somebody that's 1 HP and like you need to, or out in the open and you need to kill them to win a fight, then I mean, go ahead and blow it off. But like, if you most of the time when you're using pin, you need to be thinking, okay, I need to get from this position to this position, right? This corner to this corner, okay? If you're pinning and you're trying to aim for someone, try and aim the pin so that once you hit that person, you end up in a good position at the end of it. Right here, you know, if you kind of like think about, okay, where am I going to go after pin once I do pin? You know, you probably might want to end up sitting back here and then pushing, you know, pushing and threatening these guys backward this way so that your team can like swing up and then take space and then you get heals. Okay? Because now you kind of ended it out in the open and you lose how much HP, how much shield HP, when you could have pinned this Hanzo, hit the wall, hit this back wall here, and then not been taking damage from like a bunch of different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Davison, can't do anything about that. Okay. All right, let's go right here. Let's go right here. First of all, what's your HP situation like? What's your shield situation like?
Well, not a lot.
All right, so you think you should be going in at this moment in time? Probably not. Okay. That's first and foremost. Is paying attention to those resources. But secondly, speaking, you're kind of like, I think you're kind of lost here. You're kind of like sitting out in the middle of the open, and you're kind of like, all right, my shield's not good, my HP's not good. I'm in the middle of the open. I need to do something. What do I do? Okay, so let's think. What things could you do in this given this scenario?
I could.
Given the scenario right here.
Pin to the corner of the left of the choke.
Okay.
Or I could pin to the right room.
Okay. Okay. That's you could do that. I would rather you pin in LOS of your supports, so that corner to the left of the choke is probably not a great idea, and you don't really want your supports rotating through that lane because you're running. You have it on a Juno. It's not really that great to confine them to small spaces like that, but you probably want to end up in a position to you know get healed up and keep holding and maintaining space with the resources you have. So what positions do you want to end up on? You said right room over here, right? You said this?
Yeah.
Okay. Or, you know, maybe just like sitting back here. This isn't optimal. I'd rather you sit back here, right? This is a really great position, but this one's okay-ish too. Or you could just literally just kite back for a little bit for a second, and then just get your HP back. Right? Because even if you do sit back here, there's a depot that's like right above you that could start shooting at you. So, you know.
Yeah.
So that's you tried something. You had a plan. The plan didn't go accordingly. So readjustment is find somewhere to like reset and just jump. Okay. All right. So what's the plan now?
I mean, same-ish thing, but we can play a bit closer because we have Tracer cast.
Okay.
Already.
All right. So you still want to just be a big distraction, right? You just kind of want to go in there and start being a big meat shield. Is that what your plan is?
I mean, I could play a bit more aggressively, considering they don't have like Ana or Zenyatta.
Okay. Okay, yeah, but while you're playing aggressively, you're still achieving that, you know, meat shield thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky for you, Reinhardt is really good at being a human punching bag. So that works out in your favor. Tracer went in and tried to get cast. I think you should just kite. Your Tracer dying here is pretty bad. Do you understand why I said your Tracer dying there was really bad, though?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Explain it to me.
We just have one less player.
Well, not only that, but specifically your Tracer dying there in terms of like pre-fight neutral phase, it means that the amount of space that your team is going to be able to control here is going to be a lot, like, heavily diminished. And it means that you're going to have to resort to pretty much solely going like stacking your team going in a straight line of point, which is not optimal, right? If you had your Tracer could probably like play in these like positions over here and like, you know, deepen in this way and start harassing people in backline, and then, you know, get at least peeling space back a little bit more, especially in neutral. Now that the Tracer's kind of just dead immediately, you're not going to have that, so you're going to be effectively ramming your head against the wall here if you try to like walk in. So at that point, it's probably just not a good idea to keep staying in here. However, you try this, which was not a really good decision. All right, but we kind of understand how that was really poor there, is that Tracer's dead, you don't have anything that can hold and, you know, kind of peel back some space, create some space for you, so you're kind of like, okay, let's just wait for Tracer to go back. Okay, what's the plan right now?
Pinning to the phone booth, or just pinning the corner on the left.
Why would you pin to the phone booth here?
Because I create my team crossfire for my team, because now they can take the left flank.
Do they need to?
Maybe.
Again, let's look at the situation from a more bird's eye view, more bird's eye perspective here. Okay. Why? Okay, what's the primary goal of the team fight here? What's the primary goal of a team fight?
To win the point.
Yeah, to win the point. But more importantly, in terms of the interaction between one team and another team, what's the primary goal?
I don't know, to eliminate the enemy, take space.
Yeah. Take their space from them. But more importantly, the enemy's gonna have something called like a core, right? And that's just gonna be where most of the enemies, like really powerful players, are gonna be centered. Like right here, you've got D.Va that's out here, but you've got Hanzo and Moira kind of sitting here on point, right? The entire point of a team fight, the main point of a team fight, is to make it so that this backs up, takes space away from this, right? Now, in a situation where it's a 5v5 scenario and you don't have, your teammates don't have good positions yet, and blah 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 blah, you're gonna have to play all of that neutral stuff, and then you're gonna have to like pin behind places and then peel space away and blah 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 blah, and make them kite and whatnot. In situations like this, where the enemy backline, the enemy core is like easily available and it's easily accessible and it's just like right there, just go in and swing, right? Like this is the situation where you can turn off your brain and just go in and swing. But we want you to understand these scenarios right here, right? Where if these guys, these are the core of the enemy team, they want to kite to, what space do they want to kite to? They want to kite to this space. What can you do? You can make it so that that's not a great idea by just going in and starting swinging on them so they can't kite anymore, right? And that's, you know, that's something that's easily available for you to do. So I don't want you to try and overthink everything. I just want you to think, this is what I want to do something about. How do I get myself into a position to do something about it? Okay? You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you seem to be getting the big picture really quickly. Now take the D.Va out. And that Tracer is kind of an idiot. You probably should have been focusing on focusing on the Baptiste window, and probably you could have sat still under there in that case. But yeah, your supports did get peeled back. You're losing shield and everything. Okay, let's see what happens. Big shatter. Okay. What should be your priority right now?
Demech this diva and
Okay.
hold the corner.
So yeah, Demech Diva, but this is a problem, right? This is a problem. This is a problem.
Oh yeah, I also don't
He was
hear
kiting
game
out.
audio, by the way. I just realized.
Huh?
I don't hear game
Oh,
audio.
You don't hear game audio? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. I don't know how to fix
I was
that.
wondering why I didn't hear the hiding. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't heard game audio this whole time.
Nah, that doesn't make any sense. This is my... Hold on. Yeah, it's just like share audio. Okay. Alright, I'll just turn up my audio and see if that works. Do you hear it now?
No.
You don't hear it? I don't know. Well, it says it's sharing the audio. Hold on. I'll turn it right now. Hold on. Let me just do this real quick. So this audio here is there. The audio here is there. Okay. Right. That's good. Stop streaming. Okay. Can you hear audio now?
No. Also, the quality is substantially worse.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? I'll just
I mean, it's not
stream
greatest deal.
Overwatch itself, and we'll go from there. So I won't have my fancy Lafani Epic Pen tool, but it's fine. Okay. So, are you hearing audio now?
Yeah.
Huh? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Nice shatter. Alright. Now, in this scenario, what things are a threat? What things are a problem?
The two people on high ground and the diva
and?
is still in med.
Yeah, okay. You can't do anything about the two people on high ground? No. Can you do anything about the diva? You can try, and that's away from the high ground too, so you can go for that. So where do you think you should position yourself right now?
Between the Hanzo and the diva.
Okay, sure. Simple.
Zebula got him. And got the pulse on the Baptiste. That's good right there.
Okay. So, remember what I said about the core, right? The whole entire idea of the core, and the fact that you're trying to take space from the core. So this is the enemy core, right here, right? This is you, right? Where are you in comparison to the core? Bam, right here, right there. So it means that this, if you try and walk up on this, you are engaging. You are fighting, you are brawling, you are using all of your cooldowns, all of your resources, blah 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 blah, yada 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 yada. You get the point, right? Where's your team? Is your team's backline in any position to be able to fight their team's backline?
No.
No. So it means that your team is in neutral. The fight is in neutral right now. Your backline and their backline cannot interact with each other, so it means that you should not be doing anything too aggressive. So what do you want to do right now?
Stabilize.
Okay. That was not a stabilize. And what happened as a result of that?
We killed their Moira.
We did kill their Moira, but what happened? What happened to your shield? What happened to your HP?
I lost a little bit of HP, and my shield was almost broken.
Yeah. For starters, our Ana's on cart. Your Juno came up. Your Cass is here. Your Tracer's here. These guys are kiting back, so I mean this is fine for you. But you have to remember when you actually make plays like that, if you have to acknowledge the risks. You're going to lose a whole bunch of HP. You're going to lose a bunch of resources if your team is not there with you, right? So now you got to make sure that you're not doing something like that alone. Okay. Okay. What should you be doing now? What do you think you should be doing now?
Waiting for Ana in the room.
Probably. But in terms of this team fight, how do you win a team fight? Remember, how do you win a team fight?
You take more space from the enemy.
Yeah. Most importantly, though, there's going to be some space that the enemy has that's going to be where a lot of the enemy's pressure is going to be coming from, and that's the space that is your objective to take in this instance. What space do you think that is?
This like entire area that's connected to the fox and bear room.
This space is probably not it. The cast is here, sure, but it's one cast, right? Where is the space that the enemy holds for themselves as being their safety, as being their security, and as being where they can spam pretty easily against you or your team from?
This lane right here, this corner.
Right here, this spot back here, with this Hanzo, with this Baptiste, right? And soon to be their Moira. This is your goal. This is what you want to get to, okay? In a team fight, this is what you want to get to. Now, what's standing in the way of you getting to that?
What's the question?
What's standing in the way of you getting to these guys back here?
In the way, the cart being so far back.
That too, but you don't really have to acknowledge that at the moment in time, because like their Moira's gone anyway. It's a fair fight. It's an even fight. You can still fight here, right? But like, what directly is standing in the way of you getting to this Hanzo and this Baptiste?
The D.Va.
The D.Va. Okay. So because this is in the way, we want to remove that. How we remove that? We push this D.Va back. Right? We push this D.Va back, or we kill this D.Va so we can get to backline. What else is in the way of, you being able to actually comfortably go back there?
Capacity.
Yeah, the Cass. Can you really do anything about that Cass right now?
Not really.
No, not really. So you're just going to leave that to your teammates to be able to do that, to be able to deal with that in situations where you can deal with that effectively. If your team, if you're, you know, if this is, it ends up to being closer to you than this, then you go for that. But right now, this is way far away because you have to go up here, then all the way up here, then all the way up here, and he's probably not even going to be there still at that point, right? So when you think about team fights and you think about planning out team fights and how these plans should go, you think about, okay, what space do I want to get to? You want to get to this space. This is the spot that I want to get to. What are the things that are in the way? This is in the way. This is in the way. Get rid of those things and then get to that space. Okay?
Okay.
That's the team fight. That's the team fight formula. All right. Okay. Now, in this situation, you have to track when it comes to that team fight formula, right? When it comes to the space that you want to get to and the things that are in the way, if there are things in the way that you cannot deal with, you can absolutely not deal with, then you gotta eliminate them from the equation, right? If there's a diva on high ground that you can't get to, if there's, you know, or if this is too far away for you to reach, if, you know, something like up here, it's too far away for you to reach. If there's a Farah in the sky and it's too far away for you to reach, you can't deal with those things. You can't even think about those things. So what do? You just erase them from the checklist off the bat. And then you go for the simple thing. What's the simple thing? Right? Go for backline. You have the opening, you have the opportunity, you can go for backline. You're not going to get punished for this because this is occupied. Okay? Right? You get the picture?
I trust the plan, yes.
Okay. See, but you're dealing with Diva right now, which you're not going to be able to do anything about anyway. So this is a small micro mistake. Not your responsibility. Now it's your responsibility because she just landed herself right in front of your face. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to get to right now?
They're Moira and Honda.
Mm-hmm. What's in the way of you getting there right now?
Space.
Well, specifically, there's nothing that's there's no contested space that's getting in the way right now, right?
Yeah.
No. So you just walk over there and you just swing a hammer on them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you start coming back here. I guess because you want to be up here. Maybe that's the plan. But I mean, to be honest, you can still kind of be here in this area and then just like pin out when you need to. Right? You can. It's not horrible. It's an option for you. Oh, you wanted to get. This is when you said you wanted to get to high ground. Okay. I like that. Okay. Now, this is a problem. Sure. This is a problem here, right? What do you think you should do right here, right now, with what we've said?
Get in that room in front of me.
Get in the room in front of you, in this room here?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because I can just camp here and wait for the Diva to try to take it, or the Hondo to try to take it.
Okay.
If they
What else
too
could you
far
do?
up, I can drop.
What else
I
could you do?
could try to drop on them now. I could back up to the room behind me.
No, there's no reason for you to back up here, I don't think.
Or I could just stay here.
What about that?
I think he just run away and I lose high ground and health.
Yeah, but is him running away a good thing?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing about this. If you drop down, let me check. Do you have pin? No, you don't have pin. But if you drop down and you just push this dude out, you can just keep taking his space. You can just keep going. So you don't necessarily need to sit up here again. These guys won't be able to take this space anymore if you sit here. So if you keep pushing him out, you can literally just sit here and chill, and then keep him out, stop him from walking back up in here, walking back up to this space, and then you can just wait and chill in here. Right? You're just taking this space away from him and then using it for yourself. That's pretty much what you're doing. This up here is a great idea, but this right here can also do damage to you and your team. So you might as well just take him out. Just take him out. Take his space from him. You still get positive stuff from it. You lose resources, but you get space. That's a fair trade. Okay?
Okay.
And this guy, not only does he lose resources, right? Not only does he lose space, he also loses his angle. And that's very powerful because of the fact that he has his angle right now and he's using it to spam to do pre-fight poke damage so that when his team re-engages, they won't have to worry too much about anything. But if he can't do that from here, then there's not many options for him. He has to sit here right inside of his team, and he can get shattered. He can get run over by, Juno Walt. He can get run over by Castle. He can run these guys get run over if they stay here. Okay?
Yeah.
Now you ended up walking off anyway, and kiting back. You didn't need to. I don't think I really need to explain why you didn't need to do this.
Yeah, I was gonna push the Hanzo and the Moira, and then I didn't realize how the Diva was right there.
Oh, okay. But you do see, you kind of do see where your team is in that context. I will admit the speed ring was kind of bad, so that's on me. But at the same time, like, you didn't need to drop. But pushing the Hanzo and the Moira, wrong time, bad timing. That's not really your fault though. That's more my fault. I kind of was communicating to you to do that. But you could have technically. I just don't know if we would have been able to walk up in time. But yeah. Okay. Now you have orbital. What do you do?
Go.
Yeah. Go where?
Into
Go
their
where
face.
is the question. Yep. Into their face, swing that juicy sweet hammer of yours, and then just have fun. See, this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a really, really bad habit of tank players. This is not your priority. This is not something you have to worry about, like, at all right now. Like not in the slightest. Okay. Leave it to your Ana and your Ana and your Cass, and even if these guys lose, then you can just come back later and just finish it off. This is right here. This is in front of your face. Deal with that. This is accessible. This is easily accessible. So deal with that. And this gives you significantly more value and allows you to hold a whole lot more space. This is the stuff that you want to get to. This is the goal of the team fight right here. Getting to these guys is the goal of the team fight, right? This is the goal. This is like to put it in equate it to chess. This is the king, right? This backline here is the king. You can put these guys in checkmate, but instead you're going back to go and fight some pawn, right? Even though this is pretty big, much bigger than a pawn, so it might be just a group or a subset of pieces, sure. But you could put these guys in checkmate right now. But instead you're kind of cutting back. See, now these guys walk up, and now they get more space off of it. Now we're going to take that space back, sure, but you gave up space for free that we didn't need to. And if this was another situation or another scenario in which there was more players there, that could have ended up badly. Okay. Okay. Looking at the fight, looking at the map. Is there something that you want to get to right now?
their backline.
Okay. What's standing in the way of you getting there?
Their diva on high ground, except actually not really.
Well, no, it is pretty much the diva on high ground because it'll be dealing with your backline, so you won't have support going in, and same with the Widowmaker. But you really can't deal with these two things, can you?
No.
No. So what do you think you should realistically be doing in this scenario?
I could go main and shatter, pass in Moira,
Mm-hmm.
or I could just stay with my backline.
Mm-hmm. So you could wait or you could go in. Which one do you want to do in this scenario?
Go.
Go. Why do you want to go?
Because Cass and Moira can take space if I wait.
Oh no.
And we're also up.
That's true. That's true. That's a threat. But the big reason as to why you want to go is because you have your ultimate. Right. So it's free space at that point. If you have the power to do something, then you have the power to take the space from them, to take the space from them. Okay? Okay. Now, these guys are way farther back, and you can get like easily collapsed on, and you probably aren't going to get the kill at this time period. So now, what's your option? Yeah, like you had the option to shatter earlier, but you just didn't do that. It's fine. What are you trying? What do you want to do now?
I could take the left side.
Okay.
Or I could just wait there.
Okay.
And wait
Yeah.
for my team.
You could wait. You could wait. You can push. You could rotate. That's fair. I think that personally, you know, waiting is fine. Going up here is also fine, right? Both of these scenarios are fine. The problem is that in order to go up here, you're gonna have to go backwards.
No, I can go on the cart and then shield bash.
Oh yeah, you can do that too. I forgot about that, but you know, you kind of but you kind of get the picture here, right? Where it's just like you can't really go in right now. This is what you want to go onto. You can't really go in right now because there's things that are going to be in the way. So you just either wait for those things to be out of the way, or you try and push them out of your way yourself, right? Or you try and do something so that these things don't become a problem anymore. Okay. Okay, what's going on now? What do you want to do now?
I want to... What's my backline doing? I want to push the Moira, or I want to... I can just go in and stop the Moira and the cat, and the Moira and the Ana, because we have Nano,
Okay.
I have Shield, I have Shatter, I have HP.
Yep. Now, you don't know about this cast. I'm not expecting you to know about this cast, so don't try and go back in your reviews and make decisions based off of the cast. But right now, this is something that you like to see. This is something that you want to get rid of. You have Shatter. You have Nano. You have, a bunch of... You have all of your cooldowns. You have power. So you use that power to take that space. But the last thing that you should be doing is when they start committing on you is hesitating, which is kind of what you've been doing here. Once I see that, once I hear coalescence, I know things are going down. Okay, fight's starting. So what do you want to do? You want to hit the shatter. You want to go in. You want to hit the shatter. So then don't hesitate. See, what do you think of what just happened? What do you think? What's your thoughts? Huh?
I don't know. What's your thoughts? Do you like the situation, or do you think it could have been better? I mean, now I like it because we pushed out the cast and wasted the Moira Cole, and I have mana and HP still.
Could you have gotten more than that?
Probably.
Probably. Why?
Because I was still pushed up.
Yeah, and now you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the cast getting pushed out had nothing to do with you, right? Or the cast, you know, hitting this trade had nothing to do with you, right? Moira Cole is out. It would have been you would have been able to stop that if you hit the shatter. Anna's still back there, and then you ended up losing space off the back of that, and now you're not engaged, but you're nanoed, which means that you're going to be wasting nano to get the space back that you already had before, as opposed to using nano to take the space that you need now. So it's not a great scenario. However, it's still fine, and you can still win this, right? But these are scenarios that you got to watch out for. So let's go back to the team fight formula. What do you want?
Space. The objective.
Yeah. Okay. But most importantly, what do you want to who do you want to push out?
The Moira.
What do you want to deal with? Yeah.
The back line.
Moira and Anna, right? And Cass to a degree, but you know, we're gonna set him aside here because of the fact that he's not really accessible. Remember? Is there anything else that's standing in your way? You can't deal with this. You can't deal with this right now. You can't technically could try to deal with this, but I don't think it's effective for you to try and deal with this. So what do you want to do? There's nothing in your way. So what you gonna do?
I can try just push up and challenge the back line.
Just bulldoze straight through them. You're nanoed. There's nothing in your way that's stopping you. You just go in. Right? You need to recognize that quick, and then once you recognize it, you need to execute quick so that you don't end up wasting any resources in the process. Okay? Okay. Kind of wasting time on the diva. Even though you didn't have shield, you barely had any shield there, you know, you should have been listening at least for Honest Sleep Dart. You know that she doesn't have it, or at least am I being stupid? Yeah, she does not have it. So, you kind of should have just been walking. Just take the space. It's fine. Your team can deal with the diva. Your team can deal with the Cass. This is good. This does a lot. You stop this, then you stop this. Then you just keep going on. You go from one position to the next position. You just never want to stand out in the middle of the open here in between a whole bunch of things and just doing nothing. Got it? Now you can do something about that. So you do something about it. Shield's down. Zug's going off. Moira's in. Okay, and then you just start brawling it out. The biggest things right here that I can see is that you need to acknowledge, like so far that you can see, is that you need to acknowledge when there's nothing in your way. You need to acknowledge when you can go in for the brawl, start swinging that hammer. And as well as you need to acknowledge when there are things in your way that you need to push them out or wait for certain conditions to happen. Okay? But your goal for any team fight is just to get into the backline and start swinging. Though, just making sure that you understand, when I say backline, I'm not necessarily meaning specifically their backline. I'm talking about where the enemies are like fighting at, right? Where a majority of their pressure is coming from. If you have like, say, a Mauga Reaper Cass just standing like out here, and then there's like just two supports in the backline, you want to brawl with the Mauga Reaper Cass. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure that you have your goal, and then get rid of the things that are in the way of achieving that goal. Okay. Alright, what's your plan here? How are you gonna hold this? How are you gonna defend this?
Uh, we have May, so I thought we'd hold close and
Yeah,
try to
I get that.
separate them from the diva.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you still really can't assume those things. When it comes to these questions, these situations, you don't assume based on the hero. You assume based on the position. Okay. So if you see May like standing right here, yeah, then you kind of go. Then that's when you kind of go and you kind of sit up here, wait for the May to hard wall. Right, but if the May isn't standing like right here and she's like standing back here, she still can hit the wall, but you can always get value off the wall from back here. You don't necessarily need to be right up here in order to get value off the wall. Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to neutral, when it comes to neutral and defense, you get the attack part, right? You have a whole bunch of players that you want to get to in the back line, right? You have things that stand in the way of all of those players. So you just push this thing out, you push this thing out, and then you just go straight in, right? Or if you can't push this thing out, and this is right there, you just go straight in for it. This is checkmate, this is the king, this is what you want to get to. Now, the enemy's going to be thinking the exact same thing, right? So they want to get back here. They want to do things to this. So how do you stop them from doing that? Well, you be the thing that's in the way that they have to push out, but you just make yourself really hard to push out. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Let's think about this now. If you want to be a thorn in the enemy side, where do you position?
In the next to the tower or the statue.
Well, yeah. I think where you're positioned right now is perfect. Where you're positioned right now is absolutely perfect because this Sojourn wants to be here. This Sojourn wants to be here so that she can shoot on your backline, right? This diva, if their entire team tries to push in through this way, then you can just come in through this way and you can start swinging on their backline, right? They really want to push you out because they are really scared of you. So all you need to do is just sit here and you just make yourself hard to push out. And that's all. Okay? Acknowledge the fact that your supports are here and stay in LOS of them, right? Your May is here. Once they start trying to push in, once they start trying to do things, once they start acting funny, then you kind of push on them, right? But you're fine. You're in a really great position right now. I think your mouse died. Okay, whatever.
Probably.
Now, here's the problem. You're here, right? Moira's swinging now. This thing, you should probably be clearing out right now. A little bit more so than this thing, because this thing is going to be really annoying for you if you're back here. If you're back here dealing with this. However, all that really means is that this diva isn't doing anything important, so you don't need to be right here. You can just still be back here, and then you can just swing on this Moira when you need to. Okay. Now Moira's dead. Moira's cooked. Okay. Zug's being an idiot. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. This right here should be your number one priority. Why? And why do I keep talking about this space right here? Why do I keep talking about this space right here?
Because it's the space that gives them cover and allows them to take angles.
Yeah, exactly. And most importantly, this is your space. This is your space that you're kiting to. If these guys come over here, then you cannot kite to that space anymore, right? So it means that you need to make sure that this space is defended. You need to make sure that the space that allows you to position yourself up here is defended, and that means that you have to deal with things on this side. Okay. Now that's out the way. You can't deal with that. D.Va starts angling you out. You start pushing up that way. Okay. Now, you did end up, because of some minor positioning mistakes, right? Like, you swung on the D.Va, you swung on this guy, pushed him out, right? You ended up kind of right about now. You walk a little bit too far forward, and then you start trying to hard push. You're getting stuck inside of that thing, inside of the disruptor shot. But right here, realistically speaking, you should just be focusing on pushing out the Moira and the Sojourn, and just making sure that these guys just don't walk up and take the space. You could just sit right here, wait for them to walk out a little bit more, and then just start running in and just swinging at them, right? And then you can sit here. Why? Because you have your supports on you back here. You can't do anything to D.Va, but this D.Va can't really do anything either, because if she hard pushes in, she loses all of her resources, right? But you have the power to control the space right now, so that's all you should be focusing on. You kiting out, all that's going to do is just let them walk in, right? So this is not a horrible situation for you. You're fine. Good job, Zug Zug. Now let's skip through this. Okay. Now here. What's the problem? What's the problem? Why did you die here?
Because I'm too far forward.
And what is the thing that makes it to the fact that what's the thing that makes you too far forward? Why is this position right now too far forward?
Because my team is still on the other side of the statue, so they can't see me.
Yeah, your team is playing over here with the expectation that you're playing here. Right, your team is playing for this space here. So, you positioning yourself this far forward, when your team can't see you, your team can't help you, is the reason why this is the reason why you're too far forward. Okay, right. Your core is all the way back here, on this corner, right? So you should not be 2 corners up from that. You should only be like at the most 1 corner in front of it, on this side. Alright. Okay. Okay. And also another thing about the Mei situation is anticipate based on the position, not the hero. Positioning is more important than the hero. Nice job. Just stay here, chill like that. Okay. Now, Zug Zug goes and pushes up. She tries to hit that. You get antied. Okay. Now you just gotta chill. Get your shield back. Yeah. Now, alright. Here's the thing. If you're right here, right? If you were right here, why do you kite? Why do you kite here? Why do you kite from here?
Because I have low shield and no armor.
Yeah, you have no shield and no armor, but you have both of your supports here, and the only thing that's shooting you is a diva. Okay, and you have a corner that you can use away from the diva. What you need to do is you need to use this corner, get the health pack, get healed up, start swinging. Don't care about your HP because this diva is not going to chunk your HP off of you, right? With you being double pocketed like this, right? Not only that, she's probably going to be taking damage from us too. So not a great thing. You have all of your HP. You have all your resources. You kind of started swinging out here into the diva, into the enemy, into the enemy's face. So yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit more HP here, and you're not gonna be in the LOS of your supports, right? So now you're gonna have to use your shield back again, and now you have to recharge your shield. When you can literally just sit here and then just keep pressuring this diva. If she keeps walking too close, you can just. This is a great position for you. But you kind of overthink everything, and you're thinking, oh, I have no shield, I'm getting shot at, therefore I need to back up, when in reality you have a space right here. You backing up, though, means that you gave this team all the space and all the rotation options to move through in all of these different areas to start shooting us in the back line, okay? So this is the beginning of the end of this team fight. Now you cannot stop that. Okay, they nano diva, and now we have no space, so we're kind of just stuck here, so we can't kite. So we're stuck. Our Ana's dead. Diva's in our backline. Yeah, like this is a crap show. We don't win this. Now, are you understanding what I'm talking about when it comes to this holding space here, and the reason why you kiting there kind of lost that fight, or? Does that make a little bit less? Do you want me to explain that further in further detail?
I think I could.
Okay. Right. So what do you think you should be doing moving forward in these contexts in order to stop something like that from happening?
Know when I need to kite and know when I don't.
Okay. Here's when it comes to when it comes to like when you need to kite, right? If you have space to fall back to, right? If you can fall back to space that is comfortable for you, then you don't need to kite, right? And if you are actively being pushed by something, if you're actively being pushed by something that has equal or less power than you, right, that you can actually hit a duel with, and you have space to kite, then you don't need, you don't need to, and you have space, you have space to actually, sit here, right, and fall back to, comfortably, then you don't need to hard kite out of it, right? If your space is being threatened by something that is more powerful than you, like say a Mauga. If a Mauga was swinging out here, right, and you cannot deal with that, fight that 1v1 against that Mauga, and you know that your space that you are about to use, that you are using for safety, for cover, is going to be compromised shortly, that's when you kite. But you don't kite in any situation where those things aren't going to happen. When you have cover and when you know that cover isn't going to be compromised, right, you stay. And in a lot of situations, even when the enemy starts going straight through you and barreling through your entire team and start rolling your backline, if you have a comfortable position, right, if you have a comfortable position, like say their entire team started going in and killing 3, if you have a comfortable position, and let's say you had Shatter here, sometimes you can literally just go in, Shatter, and 1v4 and win. As long as you have the position and you have the power, then you're fine, right? Even in situations where your team is getting absolutely mauled. So if you have the position, if you have the power, you can stay, right? If you're getting threatened and you know you can't maintain that position for long, that's when you kite. Try to stay in positions if you need to. Now you're in a retake situation, so it means that we're going back to that attack thing again. Okay, team fight formula, what do you want to hit?
What
do you want to hit?
Hit the back line.
Okay, what is the backline in this case?
The Sojourn and Ana, But-
What's standing in the way of the Sojourn and the Ana?
the Diva, and the Cassidy.
And the Moira, right?
Mm,
Diva cast Moira. You want to hit Sojourn Ana? Diva cast Moira is in the way. What do you think? So if that's the case, and you have your cast up here on high ground, you have me, you have Kiriko, you have May coming. Well, I was about to say coming on your back, but that's kind of sus, so I'm not gonna say that. But you have May right behind you. All of these guys are right here. How do you think you win this?
we wait for my team to take the corner, and then we go in with speed and Ryan May, wall off Diva from the back line, actually we can just wall off Sojourn and Ana from the three up front.
Only think about what you have and the resources that you have. What position do you want to take?
I want to take the hotel room, or the bookshop room.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm seeing a much significantly better position for you right now.
I could take the corner behind the cast.
Yep. Right here. Why? Because it's completely out of LOS of the Sojourn and the Ana. If these guys want to shoot at you, then they have to be ignoring this guy. They have to ignore her, me, and your May. So once your team comes around and gets up to here, up to this area, up to this corner, and you're ready to go in, pin here. Pin here, hold shield, swing, do whatever you need to do. They're going to come around. Kiriko's going to be able to heal you. I'm going to be able to heal you. And then these guys are going to be getting shot at while also having to deal with the Reinhardt that's in their back. All right? Really good scenario. Okay? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then once these guys are out, then you focus on whether or not you can get rid of this. Alright, but right now there is a split, there is a divider in between via this corner right here that is in between their back line and their front line, so you use that to turn the situation into a 3v5. Okay. Now the thing is, instead you kind of sit in the front line like this. You gotta sit in the front line like this, and then you start walking in and you start swinging when your team isn't there just yet. You start using your shield, you start using your HP, sitting straight there in main, not working out for you too well. Now would be a situation where you would want to pin, and then you could just pin just right here, right? But you don't have the ability to pin, because your HP and your shield and your armor, all of that's just jumped. So now you have to cut. No, keep going, keep on going. Keep on going. If the space is available, take it. If the space is available, take it, because it's extra space. It's extra space, you can do a lot with extra space. You don't need to be next to your teammates. Okay? They get zoned back because Sojourn and Ana are threatened by you. You swing into Diva. You have your HP, you have resources here. Cash tries to do something funny, so you go for that. That's nice. Diva's out there. You can't really do anything about that. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. You didn't hit it. You can easily hit it. Okay. Here's the deal. You have your shatter. Use your cooldowns. If you are going to go for trades, use the cooldowns as early as you can, right? Because the earlier you use your cooldowns and you hit your trades, is the less the enemy wants to use their cooldowns and hit their trades, right? I have a question for you. Do you want to shatter when you are 5 up? Right, or if you have 3 people on your or if you only have 3 players on your team at the given moment in time.
5 people.
Yeah, when you have 5 people, that's when you want to shatter, right? So, if you know that the enemy Reinhardt has shatter, and you have shatter, right? You want to know a really cool way that you can stop their Reinhardt shatter without blocking it? Shatter first. If you hit the shatter first, and if you get a significant enough trade from that, their Reinhardt is going to feel a whole lot more pressure to either A, hit his shatter to trade back, which you can be ready for, or B, is not going to want to shatter and is going to want to save his shatter because he realizes that his team is already down 3. Right? Always, the thing is, if you have your cooldowns, it's so much more efficient to use them early than use them late. Right now, you have your shatter. You see that the enemy team is ready to line up right here. They pop Cole, just shatter right here, like literally right in this position. Once you hear the Cole, just shatter right now. It's going to be fat, and you have your team here. You have both of your supports at the very least, right? At the very least. Which we also had kits in it too, so there's no way to lose that. Yeah. See, this is a problem though. Is the fact that you use Shattered late. Now they already have all of the space. They already have all the momentum. So now it's not gonna hit as fat. They have the ability to use Nano. They have the ability to use Bomb. They have the ability to use pretty much all their ults, all their ult deployments. Okay. Get on shield. Yeah, that Maywall really screwed you up. Not your fault. Maywall.exe. Not your problem. In this situation, you have D.Va up here. You see that your backline is using this corner back here. What do you think you should do? Come on, quick.
Push the beat the D with a draw.
Or
take
drop.
that
Ow.
by
No.
pushing up. Because Steve's wall right now.
Best scenario right now, going forward, is just going to have you shot at by like multiple angles, and you're just going to like get your HP burned. Going backward is going to be kiting space unnecessarily when there's options that you have to hold it. What option do you have to hold space right now?
Go inside the little ring thingy.
Yep. Just bam. You literally just sit here and you just chill for a minute. Oh. You just sit here, you just chill for a minute. These guys walk up, then you walk in. Alright? Because they're foregoing this corner. It means that you can start walking up on backline. Okay? But right now you need a corner, so you just need to go back in. You can't do anything about that. You can do something about this if you're in here, and if this thing tries to do something funny. But from out here, you can't really do anything about that, so your option should be just go in this room. Okay? Okay, these guys walk up, so you swing back, you hit what I like to call a jab, where you kind of go in for a soft little engage to stop them from pushing in. Now you need to kite. You did not kite. Okay. And a huge reason for that is because you didn't take that position earlier. Right. Right. Where in this position you have pretty much most of your shield, most of your HP. You need to just go into this room and chill. right? If you do that, then you save a whole lot of your HP. You save a whole lot of your resources right now. Okay. 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 Can't do anything about that. Not your problem. You just chill. You can't push that right now because you see your team is too far back. So you just chill. Chill there on corner. Now, funny little thing. Funny thing. Especially about this point right here. If you push up and, like, if you... Not necessarily that you have to, like, pin here, right? But the thing that I really like to do is that if I know that I have a support that's here, that's on this corner, on Reinhardt or on any other tank, I like sitting here. Because if these guys try to swing out this way, then I can actually stop it. If these guys try to come in through this way, then they have to pay attention to me, and I'm getting heals from this side, right? So I like positioning myself here. This guy wants to swing and take this space. If he swings and takes this space, it's going to be really hard for you to hold this corner now. A lot. It's going to be a lot more. So I generally like to make sure that I'm here and to stop them from, you know, swinging on the corner and doing all that jazz. And you get it. I could probably just go over here and then just jump my way up here, just pin this way, jump my way up here, and just push this guy out even then, and then just fall back to just right here, because then at least I know I'm getting healed. See, because now you have to back up. Can't do anything about that. Hold on 1 second, I'm getting called. Real quick. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
You're good, King.
All right. See, because like you see how you're kind of getting like in the situation where they're all surrounding you, and you just keep kiting and keep kiting and keep kiting. A lot of these times, all you do is you just find a position that you like that's like heavily well insulated that they're going to struggle to push you out of, and you just sit there. Because if you keep over kiting and giving up way too much space, and this is the stuff that happens. All right. So you just have to think about space in terms of that way. Right. Okay, that's something you can do. That's something you can deal with. Okay. Hold on, just one little thing. Right here, you're getting shot at from over here, and you're avoiding a diva this way. Realistically speaking, all you need to do is just like kind of just back up to deeper through this corner, and then you can just drop shield. Like, you don't have to keep holding shield the whole entire time through. Yeah. Okay, is what it is. Okay. Now, you want Sigma here, right? Why did you go... You told me why you went Sigma earlier, but I just want you to reiterate that again. At least at this point in time period. Why you would go Sigma here.
So when the diva takes angles on the high ground and neutral, I can poke her out.
Okay. Yeah. But small little thing. Granted, what we've seen throughout this game, did you really need to poke out that diva when she was taking high ground angles like that?
Not really.
Not really. Like, sure, it can help, but it's not really that important, right? Now, I'm not saying that you can't run Sigma into this. Definitely not. But all I'm saying is that if you're running Sigma into this, the way that you play this is still, it still remains the same. The way that you defend and hold on to these angles is still the same. It's just that you're not going to have that pushing power that you had before, so you're not going to have as much threat. So you need to hit these shots and to slowly acquire and accrue pressure over time. So your positioning matters a lot more. It's a lot more significant in terms of positional power on Sigma. Now with Sigma, you want to position yourself in a place that's going to be a thorn in the enemy side, that's going to be hard for them to push you out, right? While still applying a whole lot of pressure. And a majority of the time, the only thing that you really need to worry about is being able to pressure rotations, right? So you don't need to worry about stopping them from pushing into your team, because let's be real, you're playing Sigma, you're not going to be stopping them from doing anything, right? You're just going to be sitting there chilling with a rock. However, if they want to push through and make a rotation into any sort of space, you should be in a position to be like, oh yeah, no, I don't think you want to do that right now, and then hit a rock and then hit some shots, right? Like that's Sigma. That's how you stop people from taking space. How you take space from people is by going around and taking and swinging on angles and doing the same thing, where you find different ways to off-angle the enemy team and make them and force them to kite away from space that they don't want to be in. They don't want to be standing in anymore. Okay. So let's see how you do. Let's see. Seeing what you're seeing and seeing the information that you have available to you right now, what's your plan?
I mean, do a similar thing that I did on Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm. Now, what changes between you playing Reinhardt and you playing Sigma right now?
I can't hold quite as close.
Sure, but instead of it being about as close, more if these guys start walking into you right here, what's gonna happen?
I can shoot the back line more.
Okay, sure, but you're running Sigma and you're sitting here. Let's say their team starts rotating through this way and they start trying to push you out. If you're on Reinhardt right here and you have your support LOS, are you living this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're playing Sigma, even with support LOS, is this going to feel really comfortable for you?
No.
No. Which means that you have to be able to react to that. How?
By being able to kite space.
But more importantly, kiting to where? Not necessarily in this context, but like, how do you want to kite on Sigma?
I want to kite while doing damage.
Sure. Where I'm going with this is that you don't want to kite in a straight line, right? You don't want to kite linearly. You don't want to kite backwards straight to your team. On Sigma, if you're kiting, if these guys take this off angle, you kite to an angle. You kite somewhere like here, right? If you need to. Why? Because if these guys are sitting here, right here on an angle like this, trying to shoot your team, the last thing that they want is to get shot in the side by a Sigma over here. And if they start hard trying to push you and your team, number one, in order for them to cross this open space, they have to get through your team. Number two, if they do get to you, then you can keep kiting. You keep on kiting, you keep on kiting, you keep doing damage, and then you just chill in here. And then, oh wow, look at that. While they're all trying to play cat and mouse and chasing you across the map, we're doing a whole bunch of damage to the back line. Right? Kiting with Sigma and with his ability to actually apply pressure and to hold space very well, you want to find really powerful positions and off angles where you can apply a lot of pressure to people who like really want to sit in a safe space, right? And you want to make yourself really, really, really annoying to the point where you're disrupting all of their positional options. And the best way of doing that is by getting yourself from position to position in angles that are going to make it so that they have to make really harsh decisions in order to push you out. And this is one of them. If they start pushing you through this way, if you kite back to this way, If they all try and push you, they are running straight into us. Right? So they make a decision, they make a choice between pushing you or pushing our team. That's how you want to play the Sigma. Now let's see. Okay. Here's the deal. Another thing about the Sigma. You know, another big thing about the Sigma here. You don't want to waste your cooldowns, but not only that, the fight into D.Va like this is not going to be that easy. I understand what you're talking about and the fact that you want to be able to pressure D.Va on those angles on top, and that makes sense, but she still has DM, she still has a whole bunch of stuff to be able to do whatever she wants, so, I mean, it is what it is. Using that suck was probably a really bad idea. This is great. I like that. These guys can't walk right now. These guys can't rotate right now. But instead of staying on this position, I would rather you stay on this side, so that if this Sojourn doesn't, if this Sojourn wants to be away from you, she has to kite all the way back here, right? All the way back here and around the corner, as opposed to right now, where she can just kind of like sit and just like be like, oh, okay, I'll just like be right here, but still have LOS. You know, shoot. Blah, 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 blah. No, she has to be all the way over there. Okay. But also, again, to an effect, this is kind of the same thing. This is kind of what I was talking about, though. Right, where you see how deep, like, there's a Zenyatta that's like literally right here, but this D.Va kind of has to, if this D.Va like, the D.Va's kind of shooting at you right now, right? Because she's trying to force you out as opposed to going straight and, you know, straight for this Zenyatta. This is great. This is great. If this Zenyatta had a brain and had some semblance of intelligence, he would be shooting at this D.Va, right? And then this D.Va would like absolutely be hating her life at the moment in time. Okay. Unluckily for you, this Zenyatta is kind of brain dead, so I really don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, you should really avoid and report that dude. Like, he's actually so stupid.
Trust me, I already did it.
All right, but like. Perfect example, by the way, of what I'm talking about when it comes to playing Sigma. Okay. Now, see what I'm talking about here in terms of the kiting. You kited back to your team, right? You kite back here, Sojourn and Venture. Venture's going to be coming for you, sure, but they're going to have to, you know, they're not going to be able to easily just go straight into your team like this, right? Sojourn's still going to have to worry about you if you're over here. Okay. Now the Venture coming for you, yeah, that's probably going to be an issue especially if you don't have Rock. You do have Rock though, so. If you hit your rocks, you might be fine. And hopefully you chose the flying perk, which you did. So you don't even need to go into this room. You can honestly just go up here to this high ground, right? Options positionally, but you just want to make sure that they have to make a choice. This is not making a choice right now, so these guys can kind of position anywhere they want. The Sojourner is going out right now and swinging on the rest of your team. And she can see you and your team at the same time, and instead of having to push you out, she doesn't have to push out anything because you already pushed yourself out. That's the kind of issue positionally that I'm talking about, and that gets you killed. Now, just so you are aware, the thing is, like, in situations where, just minor little thing that I just wanted to add, in situations where you think that doing something like this is a little bit too risky, just note the fact that you already died anyway being over here. And being over here, you're still not doing anything effectively because the amount of pressure that you're applying is like not significant because it's not on and off angle. So you're choosing the significantly lesser of two evils in a situation like that. That is not what I meant to put, but okay. Come. Come. This is when we decided to start rotating through this way. Right. Okay. You're here. This is juicy. You like this.